Welcome, guys, to this special edition that is going along with our mother-daughter relationship week. So you might be listening to this on Prayers for My Mom, or you might be listening to this on our Blended Family podcast. But I have my daughter here, Riley. Are you nervous?
A little bit, you're making
She was not nervous at all until I kept asking her questions to make her nervous. Don't be nervous. Take a deep breath. And we're just gonna have a conversation, just like if we were downstairs and playing with the cats.
Okay.
But I might just ask you questions that could stir up some emotion.
Nice.
You cool with that?
Yeah.
But we'll start with simple and easy. Okay, so Riley is our youngest. She just graduated high school. She is excited about starting what's next in her life. And you want to tell them what you want to do?
I am an aspiring tattoo artist, I guess. I think that's the right word, right? I've just been getting into it for like the last couple years, but I finally have everything ready to go, like to actually start tattooing on my own and not have to like rely on anybody else.
Yes, and she has started on her own body. So she's got some practice, and she's tattooed people before. So she's already got that part out. It's just getting it going. And she also, if you're watching this on YouTube and you can actually see her, she made the top that she's wearing right now. And she has a Instagram page called Riley's Closet where she goes thrifting.
Yeah, and I just find some cool things that I feel like would either be hard to find, like in the local shops, I guess. I usually thrift more where my grandma lives in like Brenham, the Brenham area. So they have a lot of cooler stuff out there. I find a lot of like cool shirts and stuff. I don't have a lot of the cooler things posted yet because I get nervous that I'm gonna want them and like somebody's gonna buy them immediately. So I feel like if I post it, I'm not gonna get the chance to wear it. But I need to start posting more of the cooler stuff so I can get more like attention to my page, I guess.
Hear you. So both of them are just starting out for her, but she's only 18 and she's starting her own business, so it's pretty awesome. And I do encourage you just to talk a little bit louder.
Okay.
So that your volume matches my volume.
All right.
Because I'm a little bit noisy. So we will start though with something easy. Like, what's your favorite memory of something that I've done?
I just like the birthday parties, I guess. They were always fun, and like helping me like decorate my room and stuff like that. No, like just helping me decorate and be creative.
Throwing your birthday parties were my favorite. And when you were younger, it was getting you all dressed in cute little outfits. And then you got to the point where
I wanted to dress myself.
You wanted to dress yourself. So it was no longer fun for me to do that. But I did enjoy helping as long as I could. Yeah?
Yeah.
Let's see. Okay, this podcast, well, we have the Prayers for My Mom podcast where, I go live in the mornings and we pray for our kids. And then now we are starting up our Blended Family podcast. So I did want to ask some questions that would gear towards the blended family life. So what would you say was something hard about being in a blended family?
I was really young whenever it all happened, I guess, so I didn't really know exactly what was going on. I don't know. It was more like I felt like Big Riley didn't like me, or like the problems that we would have with my dad and stuff like that. It was just kind of, that's what made it hard. I I didn't see anything like wrong or different with like having a blended family. I didn't mind it, but there definitely was some like struggles like with, I guess, meshing like our households.
Meshing the two together.
Yeah.
I used that word earlier in the week, and Randall's like, "No, I don't like that word." And I was like, "What? It's how you it's how you explain. You're taking two families and you're mixing them together. You're trying to mesh them together."
Yeah.
So when you were younger, like, you were pretty go-lucky, like, as far as accepting into the blended family and accepting Randall as your stepdad and Riley as your stepsister. And you and Devin both were just pretty like, yeah, more family.
Yeah, it's whatever.
And then, and like our relationship, although I was just talking about this morning on Prayers from a Mom, like I feel like I'm closer to you, and don't tell the others, but she's my favorite.
I kind of just told everybody.
So hopefully the other ones don't listen to this one. But we had a close relationship, like a good relationship, but also our personalities would clash often. Yeah.
But I don't think it was always a bad thing, because we're a lot like similar in the same ways. So like, I don't know, I feel like we help each other a lot and we can be good for each other, but when things are bad, it's like super bad because we have the same personalities. So it's like both of us are like super angry, like,
super intense.
Yeah, because we're both super intense, and then plus both of us together, it's just like, so
that's what I was explaining this morning. It's like it just keeps escalating, and then to the point where it's like neither one of us is gonna back down from the argument. And I will say I would try to win most of the time, but I don't know that I did.
Well, that's the thing. We were both trying to win the argument. So I'm gonna take my sweater off because it's getting warm. But we would both be trying to win the argument, and you're not gonna get anywhere doing that, because it's like two cars ramming into each other. Like, it's just gonna get more, the cars are just gonna get more damaged. Nothing's gonna
That's a good analogy there. Yeah, nobody wins.
Yeah.
Things are gonna get broken.
Yeah, that's all that's gonna happen.
So do you feel like there was a certain point in your life, because a lot of the goal of me doing this interview with you and having you coming on here and us talking about it, is to help other mothers and daughters out there. So we are doing a blended family podcast, or we're talking to, where people see the step side of it, but often we forget about those relationships, the biological kids' relationships with their parents, and how much you really need that attention, and how it does affect it when you're used to having it and now it's shared and stuff. Like I said, you were so easy-go-lucky, and then I feel like it came to a point where we had more harder days than we had easier days. Like, in your mind, was there like a shift? Was there a particular moment? Was it hormones?
I think it was just, hormones, going through puberty. Everything made me angry. I don't even know. I guess I feel a little bit of it whenever I like get my period around these like times. But like when I first started like getting my like maturity, I guess, it affected me, and I never like knew what it was like, obviously, so I didn't know what I was going through. I was just angry all the time, and like everything made me upset, like the littlest thing. And I mean, I'm not saying it's all my fault, because I don't know, I didn't know what was going on. I was a kid, but you didn't know what was going on either, and I feel bad that I kind of like blew up on you every day and like was a little asshole to you, because I didn't know what was going on with my own body, but you didn't know either. So it was kind of, it's nobody's fault, as long as you can look back and kind of laugh at it and think like, oh, she was just being a preteen, a little angsty preteen.
So do you think there was, we're going to talk on both sides of that. Was there anything in particular that I did that made it worse?
I think just being nosy and like telling me that I couldn't have a boyfriend, and like, I don't know, you would make a big deal about the stuff I would wear a lot of the times, and that like really ticked me off. So I don't know. That's about it.
I did have the modest is hottest mentality. And I was just telling, so if this is your very first time listening, when Randall and I married, his daughter's named Riley, and then my daughter's named Riley. So when they were younger, we called him Big Riley, Little Riley. We try to stay clear of that and call this Riley. Your brother's calling. Don't answer in the middle of the...
I'm just gonna text him.
Okay, while I'm explaining. So we try to call her Riley Rain, and then the older Riley just Riley. But to me, that doesn't work because her name is Riley regardless. But, so I'm just going to use Big Riley, Little Riley. Sorry if that's offensive to anyone. But, well, crap. Now the whole texting I got.
I'm sorry.
What was I, where was I going with that?
You were telling her.
Oh, clothing. No, I was just telling Big Riley this morning about the style right now, and that crop tops are so in, and that I've seen so many of my friends complaining about the crop tops for either themselves as adult women, like, hello, I'm not trying to wear a crop top, or for their child, their 12-year-old that they're trying to buy school clothes for, and it's a crop top. And I was like, I bet like back then, like I would have not been okay with it at all, but I see a lot of 12-year-olds wearing crop tops right now, and it's cute, but they're not my kid either, you know, like, so I was a little hard on things. Like, one thing looking back now, although I don't know if I would do it any different, we were very strict on the music and the movies that they listened to as well. And so Instagram had been around for a while, but I told her when she was 14, because that was the rule on Instagram, she could get an Instagram, and I would find her mouthing these songs that to me were inappropriate because children should not be singing them. But yet I was a pre-K teacher, and I had 4-year-olds singing these songs. So I understand it's out there in the world. But when you're watching a little girl say something about some guy and being hot or whatever, but I wouldn't have made such a big, what my point is, I wouldn't have made such a big deal out of those. I wish that was the problems that was the worst of it, but it got a lot.
Yeah. I don't even remember, like, why it got so bad. It just did. I think it was mostly because you were so like against everything I wanted to do. It felt like that to me, and like you're against my dad a lot, so I don't know, it just felt like you were just really against me. You didn't like anything I was doing. You were always mad at everything I did, which, I mean, it's understandable watching your kid grow up. I can understand. You don't want to see the things that they're doing, especially if they're being little bad kids. But like, I don't know. I always try to rationalize it, I guess. Like, I wasn't the worst of the worst, but I don't know. I feel like all kids gotta grow up sometime, and part of growing up is making a lot of mistakes and learning from your mistakes. But as long as you learn and you come out a better person from it, then that's really all you can be, like, I don't know. You just gotta be thankful for that.
That is one thing that I had to learn, and it took losing all of y'all to learn that. But I did not understand that failure was a chance to improve. To me, failure was, you're done. Like, you're wrong, you're bad, you're done. Like, not even just for the kids, but for myself too. Like, so I would always try to avoid making any mistakes, not realizing that mistakes are opportunities to learn and improve and get better. And so, and that is another thing, and that I talked about that with Big Riley when we did, her and I talk, was we as parents, I say we, I mean, I don't know if Randall was as bad. I don't know, because I did a lot of y'all's parenting and he did a lot of Riley's parenting, but y'all could do 99 things right, but the one thing that was wrong, I would focus on that because I was trying to raise perfect children.
Yeah.
Out of lack of the parenting that I had, I thought, okay, well, if I figure out this perfect formula, then I'm going to raise children that are perfect, which is an unrealistic expectation to have on anybody as an adult.
And to put on a child is very, I think, wrong. Because, like kids don't know anything that their parents don't tell them. Unless they have, like, phones and stuff. They can look up whatever they want. But when you're, like, a kid, like, you don't have, like, a phone, you don't get on the computer and stuff like that. You only know what your parents and the people around you tell you. So when, like, no one's telling you it's okay to make mistakes, and all they're showing you is that it's not okay and that you have to do everything right, it leaves an imprint in their head, whether it's very noticeable or not. And, like, with me, I notice it within myself. I don't know if people can notice it, but I try to perfect everything I do. Like, I feel like if it's not perfect the first time, then why even do it? Like, but I have to, like, I guess, back myself down and kind of humble myself and, like, tell myself, like, you're human, you make mistakes, you're not a perfect person. Like my hand shakes sometimes and I, like, mess up a line when I'm drawing or something, and I'm like, now I have to redraw the whole thing. Like, I just get so angry, but it's like, it's okay, you can just fix it. Like, I don't know, like, it's not that big of a deal.
It's not the end of the world.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. It's okay. Like, just breathe. It's just a mistake. That's all it is.
No. Well, that's good. Because I think some of that probably does stem off the parenting that was done. But it was also lack on my part of understanding and knowing and raising y'all, not realizing.
And it's a cycle that happens. And I know you said it a lot too. Like, when someone doesn't have good parenting, they're not going to parent their child the best way, and then their child isn't going to parent their children the best way, unless the cycle is broken, unless there is change. And I feel like you're doing a really good job of trying to change the cycle, I guess, like, change your ways and stuff.
Yeah, kind of piggybacking off that, I think a lot of times it's if you're parented this way, you try to overcorrect it.
Mm-hmm.
So I felt like we had no rules and boundaries. So I thought, okay, rules and boundaries is the answer to parenting. And the bubble was so tight that it didn't allow freedom to. And then if y'all tried to go outside of that, then it just got tighter.
Yeah, and also, we were going to see that stuff regardless at my dad's, I guess, because at grandma's and stuff, we weren't under the tight supervision that we were at the house and stuff, so we were able to have more freedom. So I mean, like, I don't know, I guess to the parents watching, you have to understand, like, your child is going to see scary, bad, inappropriate things regardless on the internet, because the internet is a scary,
if they have a phone,
inappropriate place. Yeah. So it's better to talk with them and kind of give them knowledge on the situations rather than make them scared of it and make them, I don't know what the word is, like, I don't know,
like
over interested, I guess.
Oh, okay.
Like, they want to know what it is, and they might not find the best information on it, especially on the internet. So it's better coming from a trusted adult, I feel like, rather than some random person on Reddit or something. Like,
I still don't even know what Reddit is.
It's literally an app where you type in a question and, like, millions of people can answer you. Like, that's all it is people answering other people's questions.
Is it bad stuff or just anything?
It's anything. Like, anything. I could look up probably how to bury a body on there and it would tell me, or I could look up how to draw a cupcake and it would tell me. Like, it's like,
words though, it's pictures, or
it's all, like, everything. It's like Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook all mixed together.
all combined. Okay, and kids are doing this. Like, how old were you when Reddit was a thing?
I barely started getting into Reddit, but it's been around since I was probably 13 when I started hearing about it. But it's probably been around a lot longer than that. I know, like, Keegan probably has been on it since he was like 11, 12, since he could get on the internet. I'm sure.
So that's like where you feel safe to ask questions that you might not ask. The holiday challenge is in full swing, but I want you to know that it's not too late to join. And you might be thinking, what the heck is a holiday challenge? This year, we are focusing more on the things that matter around the holidays. We're forgetting about the hustle and bustle and all the stuff that stresses us out, and we're focusing on joy. Now, although we've already started, you can still join in. You'll be a part of our private Facebook group. You'll have access to everything that we've already talked about over the last couple weeks, and you'll still get the book that we're using all included in that. And so don't worry, you'll have plenty of time to catch up and dig into it and just start enjoying the holiday today. Back to the episode.
Yeah, kind of. And like questions you can't like just look up on Google, I guess. Like Reddit will come up on Google if you just search up a question, but that's where it leads you to. So you might as well just look it up on Reddit. It's just like any question you could think of, it'll most likely be on there. Sometimes there's not a lot of good, true information, but there is something that will come up most of the time with your question. But that's the thing, like what I was saying, like you, as a parent, I would rather, if I was a parent, me telling my kid and educating my kid on something that they are interested in or are curious about or have questions about, rather than them going on an app like Reddit and asking a bunch of random strangers that can tell them anything, like anything at all.
So, new question. What do you think I could have done better during the time where you were trying to like figure yourself out, and I was coming in a little hot and trying to tighten the bubble and getting upset about like all the things? What could I have done? Like, what do you wish? Like, if when you were in your room, like slam door, go to your bed, my mom sucks, what were you hoping for?
I don't know. Every time I get like that, I just want to like go and like slip into like an abyss and just like float into nothingness and just be away from everything. So there's nothing really you could have done. The only thing I kind of wish you would have done is like, I'm trying to figure out how to word it. Teach me kind of like self-acceptance. And I know like everybody struggles with that, and it's kind of hard to even know what that means, because I don't know, self-acceptance is a hard
I don't think I learned it until like last year.
Yeah,
so.
That's what I'm saying. Like that, I'm not blaming you or anything, because I mean it's a hard thing to do, especially when you're not taught. Like, I don't know. So I think that would have helped a lot with a lot of other things, just because like just knowing that being sad is okay, being happy is okay, being upset about something is okay, being angry about something is okay. But most of all, being happy about like your accomplishments and stuff like that, like celebrating accomplishments and being okay like with celebrating it, I guess. Like, you can celebrate the good times, and it's better to celebrate the good times, even if you feel like maybe I shouldn't because this person is not happy in this moment or whatever. Like, it's still your success, it's still your celebration, so you deserve it. You deserve to have that happiness. And if you allow other people to like take that away from you, I guess it takes away from your happiness, and it subconsciously tells you that how you feel doesn't matter, I guess. Like, that's how I, like, see it. Because, I don't know, I feel like all emotions should be taken with embrace, and, like, because that's the only way to really get through the struggles, get through the hard times and the, like, hardships and stuff like that, is to embrace all of your emotions, good or bad. And that's really the only thing that I feel like could have been better.
Could have done is to, like, have more conversations on that area, or like model it.
Maybe kind of just, I don't know. There's
when you're sad, to let you be sad, and
but I don't know, like, tell me that it's not, like, I'm not gonna be sad forever. It's just a
that's good.
Like, temporary feeling. Like, it's not gonna last forever. Something's gonna come along and make you happy eventually. Like, you can't stay sad forever. So, I don't know.
That's good. Especially there's a lot of girls out there, I'm sure, that are going through that same experience of, and it's not like, that's the one thing I think with the hormones is it doesn't, like, just happen to a certain group of people, well, women, but yes, but, like, you know, only to people in a lower class or a high class or black or white or, you know, people in America or people in
it's crazy
India. Like,
because, like, I feel there should be some kind of science that helps with it, because it affects everyone's life. It affects women mostly, but when the women are being hostile towards men and other people around them, it affects them too.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I feel like there should be something that helps with it.
Well, and there is, but a lot of times that is also a bigger problem, because which I know this isn't really a topic on, like, birth control and stuff, but a lot of girls going through that at the same time of puberty, their face is breaking out or whatever, so the doctor says, well, put them on birth control. That's a solution for breakouts, which also have hormones in them, which cause you to act certain ways. Or, like, for me, I started having sex before I was married, therefore I got on birth control. So from the time I was 16 all the way till I was in my maybe early 30s, didn't realize the hormones in my body and the way that I was acting during that time was hormone induced. When I was in my mid 30s when I decided to get off birth control, and I was like, I am a human being with other emotions besides freaking out.
It's literally crazy. Like, I know exactly what you're talking about because it's happening to me right now. Like, I got the birth control shot in, like, November, last November, and they said that it affected me bad the whole time. Like, I was not feeling good the whole time. Immediately after I got the shot, I wasn't feeling good. But, like, they told me that for 9 months, it wouldn't be out of my system. Like, it would take that long for it to be completely gone. It should be gone by the end of summer. And it's the end of summer, and I am starting to feel, like, better. Like, my mind is clear. I have, like, clarity, and I can actually, like, rationalize things, I feel like.
Because you were having, like, pretty, like, suicidal thoughts you were even saying during...
I was having, like, breakdowns, like, mental issues. Like, I was feeling borderline schizophrenic because of all the things that were happening to me. And it's crazy how they can literally just inject you with something and it, like, makes you feel that way for so long. And there's nothing you can do about it. You can't take it out of your body. You can't, like, it's just gonna be in you for that long. It's crazy.
And for a while you lived here with us, and so a lot of it was... I'm sure you were, you know, like, well, if I could just get out from underneath, you know, like, it was a lot of the problem stirring the fact that you were here, but then you even went to live with Keegan, live where you wanted to live, and you were still seeing same kind of problems, right?
Yeah. And that's how, like, I figured it out, like, it has to be birth control, because, like, it either had to be the birth control or it had to be me, like something wrong with my mind. But the only thing that was wrong with my mind was the hormones. They were affecting me. So I just had to calm myself down each time and just tell myself, like, it's gonna be good. It's okay. It's not really you. It's just the hormone monster in your brain.
The hormone monster. Yes, you heard it here first.
All
Guys.
right.
The hormone. I could see a commercial with that. Like,
I think it's in Big Mouth. It's like a show on Netflix called Big Mouth, and they like talk about like little kids going through puberty and stuff like that.
I'll have to check
And
that out.
they have little hormone monsters that are insane.
Dang, I'll have to Big Mouth, huh? Okay.
Yeah,
I'll have to check
it's
that
kind
out.
of inappropriate, but it's pretty funny.
Okay. Oh, it's like a series?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's a little animated series.
About hormones and
Yeah.
okay.
About little kids going through puberty.
But is it geared towards like your age to watch and laugh and make fun of it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It's not like a documentary on kids.
No.
Oh, that's what I thought you were talking about. Like,
No, it's just like a little animated like cartoon thing for like teenagers, I guess.
I think we answered that next question. What's going on in your head during the hard part? So I think we just kind of covered all of that. The last question that I had, what would you say is the one thing, if there was one thing that I did as a mother? Because there's so many areas of like going through all of that and being in a blended family and just maturing in general. But as far as where our relationship had got to the point of like pretty much cut off for a while there, to mend that. Like, so if there's anybody out there who's like mother-daughter relationship is like non-existent right now, and the mom's in her room crying wishing she had that back, and then the daughter is in her room or somewhere else wherever she lives crying wishing she had that back, was there something that like pulled that relationship back together?
It was kind of forced at first because I had to come back, but I think eventually me being open with you and you being kind of like okay and understanding, like you weren't okay with everything I was telling you, but you were like understanding, and you were like you would listen. You wouldn't be like quick to, what the heck, why would you do that? Like it was easier to talk to you when you were just like, you would actually listen, and like I could just tell you things that I like wish I could tell you, like that I had always wished I could tell you, and I could finally just be honest, because that's what causes a lot of problems, is when like things are being hidden and like things aren't being talked about openly.
Like, would you say that even starts on like a little scale before it's like, hey mom, I want to be on birth control?
Yeah.
But
it's like even to the point where you might be going through something and you don't want to talk to me about it because you don't want to put the burden on your child or whatever. But me not knowing that you're going through something, like I might treat you, I don't know, with more compassion. If you were to tell me like you were going through something, I wouldn't be so quick to be like screaming at you and stuff. So I feel like communication is a big deal, because like you're not gonna know unless you're told. You're not gonna know something unless you know. So
I didn't realize that, and I mean, you probably have seen me cry more often than, but when Kaylee, my niece, her cousin from her dad's side of the family, was spending a lot of time with us for a couple years, because I would drive her back and forth to school, and she had said something to me one day like, Tia, Scarlett, I've never seen you cry. And I was like, what? I cry all the time. And during that time frame was when Grammy was passing away, and I was crying all the time. And I was like, wow, I started to pay attention to it, and I would go, I'm gonna cry now. But since then, I have learned a lot about letting other people see that human side of me. But I would go to Grammy's, and I would help take care of her in her like last days. And instead of coming home and like talking with you guys, I would go to the bedroom. Well, I'd go take a shower, because nothing feels better than a hot shower with your cry baths is what I used to call them. But I would go in there and I'd cry, and then I would just go lay down, and then everybody else in the house would be like, where'd Scarlett go, or where's Mom? And then Randall would usually come looking for me, like, oh, I just felt sleepy and decided to go to sleep. Like, I would hide those human sides of me because I didn't want to look weak. I didn't want to scare y'all. I didn't want y'all to think that there was problems in the world. But at the same time, it kept y'all from being able to see, like, it's okay to have. I think the only time I probably would ever really cry around y'all is if I was that mad that I started screaming. I started screaming out of anger, and I would cry out of. Yeah. So I hate that but there, you know, you don't know what you don't know. You think you're doing good, and
at least we can talk about it now.
That is true.
We have mended our relationship enough to be able to talk about it and reflect and help other people if they need our help.
Yes, and so you didn't need to be scared about this at all, right? No, I do truly appreciate it, because I know, like, from the bottom of my heart that there are moms and daughters out there that wished their parent could understand this, that wish their parent knew, wish there was some sort of resource out there that they could be like, hey, Mom, check this out. And hopefully my prayer is that the mom in that situation could see where I went wrong and could improve that a lot sooner than I did, for it not to get to that point. And hopefully for the daughters in those perspective to be like, oh crap, this is my hormones. Because no girl on her period wants anybody to say,
it's just
your period.
It is just your hormones. It is.
But you do still feel like a crazy person.
Yeah, it's okay. But it is. It's true, but it's okay.
Yes, 100%. So I do, that's my prayer, that this is going to help. So I'm very grateful, because I tried to reel her in on this last week when I was doing a whole mother-daughter thing, but we were on vacation. It wasn't the right time, and she wasn't feeling it, and she had to tell me, Mom, I really don't want to do it right now. Like, can we do this later? And I had two choices. I could be like, well, nope, sorry, this is the week, do it now, or just say okay. And so I said okay, and then today she texted and said, hey, you want to do it today? And I wasn't really feeling it today, to be honest, but I am so grateful that I just sucked it up and did it anyways. We had a whole miscommunication, even just.
Yeah. She thought I was coming over to swim, do water aerobics. I was like, nobody said anything about that.
I thought I did in my hint when I said, did Riley invite you to do water aerobics?
And I said no. I never got a text. No one ever texted me.
But that was the invite, and she came looking all cute, and I'm looking like a mess because I was fixing to do water aerobics. And so it's just one of those things where it's like lack of communication, even though on both of our parts. I could have said, when she said, you want to do it today, I could have said, well, not really. And the reason I didn't want to do it today is because I got a fever blister, my face is broke out. Like, I didn't really want to, like, look ugly on camera. And then you come looking all cute, and I'm like, well, we definitely have to.
No, I'm sorry.
I'm so glad that we did, because I think it worked out perfect. And I promised her it'd be like short 15 minutes, and it's like almost 40. So
whatever.
There we go.
Felt like 15 minutes, so it's okay.
Do you mind if I say a quick prayer? Because we usually end these with. So, Father God, I just thank you for the words that Riley was speaking today, Lord, and the things that I said, that everything that we say, that you are going to use it to reach someone out there, Father, that there is a mother and a daughter out there that just has been looking for someone to understand their point of view and something to help bridge that gap between that mother-daughter relationship. So, Father, you made us with all these hormones inside of us, even though I know it was Eve and eating the apple. But Lord, we know that you take anything that the enemy meant to harm us, and you can turn it around for good. So Lord, take this situation, take our life and our experience and our testimony, what we've gone through, and turn it around and use it for somebody else's good. Use it to do good in their lives. And I just thank you from the bottom of my heart for the mending and the meshing of Riley and I and our relationship, and that we can we can go through all of the emotions, but at the end of the day, that we know that we're here for each other, and that she knows that she is my favorite, and that we love each other, and that we want what's best for each other. So I thank you for being a God that brings us together in this way, and that you're going to use it however you see fit. So I pray all this in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. So all right, bye guys. A little hug. Aw. And until next time.
Hey, thanks for joining us today for another episode of Enjoying Your Blended Family. All the links we've talked about today, they're in the show notes below. If you've enjoyed listening, be sure to subscribe below. It's free and it lets you know when we have another episode for you to listen to.
And if you want to help us out, leave us a rating and review so that we can keep reaching more people. Until next time, remember to enjoy the moment.